So yeah guys, sorry that other video is just cursing. That's why it's called the cursing video. Why you cursed in French? Just know a couple words. The merde. But yeah, I was just doing it the wrong way, that's why. Okay? If you do, you know, ideally you'd have this on a stand, sorry, not a stand, but on a this fucking table. It's fucking wobbly, see? Sometimes you just gotta do with what you have. You make do with what you have. Make do. Yeah, if you're in this similar situation and you don't have a vice, ideally you'd have a vice. Ideally you'd have a vice. And you will have to either take out the overdrive casings that it's lighted, because that thing is really heavy. It does interfere a lot. Or what you can do is just push the whole thing off of the table, but you will have to be very careful not to drop it. You need to get somebody else to help you hold it, right? You need to be able to have both hands on here. It's almost nearly impossible to do it with one hand. With one hand you're trying to hold here and the other is there. And I did remove that block of wood there, by the way. You see that on the casing, another important feature that's different from these fucking modern pieces of crap, that you'll see that down here there's a metal support and it's square, so that in order for you to put a clamp or a vise, see this here? That's that you can put the vise on it. Okay, that's what that's for. Modern transmissions, fucking, if you can even call them that, they're big and round, a lot bigger than this. Fucking weird shapes. And you know, once it's disassembled, even, you know, mechanics, guys that do transmissions, you know, transmission mechanics that do that stuff daily, they'll just throw it out and get a new one because it's not worth the time. You know, it's pretty much impossible to reassemble. But it did come in nicely. Sometimes the temperature, you know, I feel like this is a little tighter today. Pushed it in too far. I have to pull it out again in order to put that snap ring. There we go. Snap ring, where are you? Put one end, just zoom in there. The snap ring, you'll see how easy this is to put it back in. Put one end in, and you just put one end, there it is. Just push the other ends in. See? There it is, it's in. Just like to tap it around just to make sure it's in. There we go. There we have it. There you fucking have it. Yep, now we are all finished here. Just tighten these up. Tighten up the bolts. Remember that on one side you can't use this end, you gotta use this end. Unless you have a thin little sockets. Socket wrenches. These that I have are really heavy duty, so if they're thick, which is a bit of an error here on the housing design here. No big deal though. Tight. All going in by hand. I'll put that anti-seize later. I might not even put it. Some places where the threads are exposed, it might be better to not put any anti-seize because dirt sticks to it. Alright, so I'll just finish tightening up those bolts, and we are finished here. Fortunately, I did damage the paint. Woohoo! Alright, so oh yeah, one more thing I'd like to show you guys. See the overdrive lever here? Now, right now, I don't have the pin in. I will put the pin in just so that you guys can see. But let's say you pull it out. Now, you see now it's just going all over the place because it's not engaging anymore. Well, just push it back to where it's supposed to go. Push it back in. And it's engaged again. See? Take it out. See? Push it back in. There you go. You're good again. If it was a fucking modern transmission, and you know, you pull it out like that, you have to fucking disassemble the whole thing to put it back to its spot. Some fucking nightmare like that. Should I mention something else? No. Mention paint. Speedometer goes here. What else should I... Okay, yeah, there's the nut here at the end. And its diameter is 1 3/8, I believe. Took my inverter dial out. Can't measure it exactly for you, but I'm pretty sure it's that. It's pretty big. But I'd just like to show you one more thing. really feel like putting the oil in right now, but it's just probably just leak through here. I mean, I won't be able to move it. I still got to make the gasket for the end here. So, I mean, there's no point in recording. Oh yeah, you do have to put the oil in both transmissions. I mean, yeah, both sides of the transmissions, if you will. Because both of them have filler holes, filler plugs. Yeah, and let's see how well this is built. I'll show you guys in just a second. One more interesting feature. Right up there. I have to turn it around. Hang on. See, being a mechanic, you also get a workout. I'm going to show you right up there. See, there's this little, like I say, little, fuck, I don't know, little canal or something. You'll see there's a hole there right at the end. What this will do is, let's say you're running low on oil for whatever reason, on one side, for example. Let's say you're leaking oil here from the governor here, on this side, on the overdrive side, but the manual transmission side is good. Well, if they were completely separate, then you would burn the overdrive gears, as the high velocities, right, would heat up the gears and it would damage them because there's low oil, while this side would just be fine. What this does, it ensures that you have oil on both sides. The high velocity, the turning, the high velocity of the spinning gears here will throw oil up onto here, onto this channel here. It'll go through the hole and onto the other side, which is genius, just really fucking smart. Oh yeah, that's what it'll do, okay? That's what that's for. The other thing that I'd just like to mention quickly, just before we end this video, is that here, this is basically an adapter. I think it's called a flange, but it's just two ways that you can attach a drive shaft, drive line. There's two methods here. One will go here, and there'll be like a C clamp. I think it's called a C clamp or a C bolt. C bolt, yeah, that's what it's called. C bolt or a U bolt, and you'll attach the drive line here, and then it'll connect here. And then when you want to disconnect the drive line, you just disconnect here, and it'll fall out. And this is the best way. But the other way, which is what is in the Rambler American, It's a drive line, it's a drive shaft without a removable, an adjustable yoke. That's what it's called. Normally this will come out with both hands. I'll just tap it in for now. And my driveline, the one that I have right now, it's not adjustable. Just one big pipe. It'll connect directly to this here, to the splines here. It doesn't have this here. It's got a universal joint at the end, but then it's got like another little continuation just like this, but it obviously doesn't have this here. It's completely rounded, and you put the U joints, you remove them by pushing them in, removing the rings and pushing them in that way. But hopefully what I would really like to find is a an adjustable driveline, because the fixed driveline, the one that I have in the Rambler right now, in order to remove it, you have to remove the bolts of the rear spring, and you have to lift up the back of the car. If you have an adjustable driveline, you just remove these 4 bolts here that holds the C bolt, and you just push it back and it'll slide right out. You don't even have to lift the car off the ground. So that is the other thing that I'd like to mention. The lid is somewhere else. All I have to do now to complete this transmission is put the oil in, cut a gasket for this side here, put the oil in, put the lid in, and we are finished. Just give you a little final zoom. There's one of the filler plugs there. That's the bottom. That's where the oil comes out. Top one is where you put the oil in. But you can also put it from the lid. I much prefer putting it from the lid, because it's really, in order to put it from the side, you need to have a either a flexible or a really long funnel. From the top here, just dump it in and that's it. There's no problem if you put more oil. It's no problem at all. It's probably even good if you put more oil in. No fucking sensors to damage. You fill it all the way up. It doesn't matter. Probably leak from somewhere. No, not really. But there's no problem putting more oil in. Automatic transmission, that might be different, because if you put they're hydraulically controlled, so maybe if you put more oil in, depending on the transmission, you'll cause too much oil to get into the system, and then too much pressure might also cause internal leaks. I don't know, but this here is just completely mechanical. Put more oil in, it's not a problem. I'll just put the whole gallon. That's what I'm going to do. If you don't want to do that, then it's your choice, but I just put more oil in. Just safer, and there's no reason to just not put it. I mean, maybe you want to save a little bit for later in case it starts, in case you get a leak, right? And you have more oil to put in. But you gotta watch out for leaks anyways, so. I'm just going to use the normal engine oil without any of the fancy additives. This is what I'm going to use. Motor Master was the cheapest oil they had. You can't have any of those weird. No, that's just fucking oil. If if you don't have that oil, you just go ahead and put kitchen oil, cooking oil, sunflower oil, whatever. It'll work. There's the other filler plugs for the overdrive. Once again, they are really small, so I'm just going to put oil in through the governor's hole here. It's weird how that sounds. The governor's hole. Governor's hole. And I think that's it. Just give you a little quick. Yeah, guys. Thank you for watching. Hopefully this helps somebody out there, and if you do, have some knowledge or something to share, just remember to share it with somebody else. Right? 'Cause that's why I make these videos here, to hopefully help somebody out there and to show you that you don't have to depend on these fucking garbage cars that they make nowadays. You do have the other option of having a great car, real nice looking cars, lower prices, lower insurance rates, and at low gas, right? With this overdrive transmission, you'll beat. You can get the car from the 60s to be more economical in gas than a modern car. Not one of those little, really tiny, pathetic little things. The smart cars, yeah, those things are like a motorcycle on 4 wheels. 4-wheeled motorcycle. If you really want to go really economic, buy yourself a motorcycle or just use the bus. So you don't want to go to the other extreme where you're getting a massive 401, 409 or T-burn where you're doing like 4 kilometers a liter. You don't have to go that crazy. That's why the Ramblers, the Nash Ramblers, Studebakers. There are some really nice cars that don't use a lot of gas. Will use, maybe a little more gas than a modern car, most of modern cars. But although you're using a little more gas, you're driving a nicer car. You're driving a better car. You're getting more attention. The car keeps its value. It actually increases. These cars, the older it gets, the more, the higher the value, right? If it's modern cars, you buy a car today, tomorrow it's worth half as much. So you're saving money on that. You're saving money on parts because they're 100 times more reliable. They're also a lot cheaper. Okay, and yeah, that's a lot of these cars are actually safer because they were built a lot better. Just make sure you have some seat belts installed there. Because without seat belts, no matter what you're driving, you'll be in trouble if you're in an accident. So always have seat belts. Really easy to install. You really want to go crazy install airbags, but these things, guys, they were moving machines. If they hit a modern car today, fucking destroy the little piece of shit. But well, like I said, yeah, if you know somebody, if you liked the videos and it helps you, I know it's more like a series rather than a video. Maybe I'll just do a little video later, but I don't do any editing right now because it's hard. I don't know how to. I don't have the time, resources, so it's a lot easier for you to just filter through the videos, find the information you need, and what you don't need, you just don't watch, right? But if you do find some of these videos helpful, remember to share them with somebody else, somebody that might also be needing this information. I will get back to you later with the update on what I did on the governor, and then when I do install this on the car, I will also to show you guys. So yeah, this is the end of the T96. Once again, this is the last video of the T96 Borg Warner transmission with the overdrive. The overdrive transmission. There it is. Show you the other side. I'll show you how it looks with the solenoid in. I'll just put the governor in as well, just so that you guys can see what it looks like. I'm going to put it all the way in because I don't want to scratch the paint. It's still not fully cured. It is. I don't have the lid on it right now. Speedometer goes here. It's the same speedometer. It's just got to be longer. If it's at a 45-degree angle relative to the line between the holes or the bolt, between the holes here for the bolts, the flat side should be facing up. Put it in like that, quarter turn it in. Should have probably, you know what I might do here? See how these wires are here? It's facing that way. It's kind of close. The shift lever's here. So I might change it so that it goes like that way. See, I can put it this way. I don't have to change anything, just change the position and go in like that. You see, you can either put it this way, the screws facing there. You can put it this way, the screws facing there. I'm going to leave the screws facing the back. Bolts in. I really like, I don't know, maybe you guys criticize me if you want, but I enjoy looking at it, falling in love with it. Pity doesn't have pussy. Steel pussy. Oh yeah, there's a number 7 here. I don't know what that's from. I was looking at the Rambler Americans manual, and the overdrive transmission casing that they have there is the same as this. The only difference is that it has like a metal, it's got a continuation of like a rectangular portion there. I guess it could either serve as a support or maybe just a place to clamp onto a vise, just like there's like I showed you on the other side with the manual transmission. Put this bolt in later. There you have it. I just love seeing how it is now. Just to remember how it was before. That there is not rust, by the way, it's paint. Okay. Actually, there is a little bit of rust there.